We now enter the courtroom just in time for the state to present its closing arguments against Mr. Ruger, a gun, who stands accused of murder in the first degree and assault and battery with a deadly weapon.
Your Honor, the state has presented evidence proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that Mr. Ruger has fired the shot that killed Mr. Smith.
I didn't say that I didn't fire the shots. What I said was, I can't pull my own
Order in my
trigger.
court!
The state has proven, based on evidence that has been presented, that this gun is a danger to society. And if he is found guilty today, this menace to our community will be placed in safekeeping and will not be able to harm anyone again. The gun has confirmed and said that he and only he was the one that fired the shot that killed Mr. Smith. The state now rests its case.
Yes, the evidence shows that my client, Mr. Ruger, fired the shot, but I have shown the court through the evidence that Mr. Jones loaded the gun and then pointed the gun. Mr. Jones, being of sound mind, pulled the trigger, which fired the fatal shot. There is no way that my client, Mr. Ruger, could have committed this act without the assistance of a human picking him up, loading him, and pulling the trigger.
At this time, I will adjourn to my chambers to review the facts presented in this case. When I return, I will render my decision. Court is adjourned until 2 o'clock.
What are you doing?
Oh, hey, check this out. And you wanted a dog.
We now return to Judge John's court for the verdict in the trial of the state of Florida versus Ruger.
Based on the evidence, I find the defendant not guilty of murder of first degree or assault and battery with a deadly weapon. However, I do find the defendant guilty of a lesser charge of being a public nuisance. I sentence you to stay in a gun safety box until a point in time that the public is capable of dealing with the powers that you possess. This box shall stay stored in the state's evidence room. Court is adjourned.